Scotland had been on my list long before I even moved to the UK. Back when I was living in New Zealand, I'd see photos of the Highlands and wonder if they could really be as incredible as they looked. Years later, after moving to England, that question was still sitting in the back of my mind. So this summer I finally pointed the car north to find out for myself. After a few hours on the road, this would be home for the next couple of nights. We'd deliberately chosen somewhere off-grid, tucked away in the Highlands. No busy roads, no crowds, just a place to slow down and take in everything that we'd come here to experience. The cabin was small but really comfortable with everything that we needed for the next few days. It sat tucked away on top of a hill, overlooking a beautiful loch. The shower was down a path just a few seconds away from the cabin. It had decent water pressure and plenty of hot water, and was more than enough for a comfortable shower every day for the next few days. The kitchen was basic but had a gas stove and a washing up area, and this incredible view. We quickly unpacked all of our things after the long drive and headed down to the loch for a swim. It was surprisingly hot outside, even for June, as Scotland was experiencing a heat wave, so the cool water in the loch was more than welcome. We swam and enjoyed the sun for quite a long time, before slowly making our way up towards the cabin again to light a fire. We then grilled some vegetables and steak, paired with a bit of whiskey, of course. We then settled down by the fire and enjoyed it long into the night. It was summer solstice, and it never truly got dark. The next morning we woke up, made coffee, and hung out for a bit. After breakfast we went on the loch for another swim, and then got on our boots and our backpacks and got in the car to go hike our first Munro. A Munro in Scotland is any mountain over 3,000 feet, or about 915 meters, and it was on my bucket list for a long time. As much as I love living in England, I do miss the large mountains of New Zealand, so I was really excited to go to Scotland and do a climb that was over 1,000 meters. The trail first works its way up a steep hill before opening up to a beautiful valley. It then goes along the left side of a lake before ending at the end of the road, before you start the steep climb up to the very top. The ascent was steep and technical, and stunning in every way. At first the clouds looked like they were going to roll in and settle down, but as we got higher and higher towards the top, it looked like we might get lucky. As we reached the top, the clouds started to burn off and gave way to the stunning views below. I miss doing hikes like this so much, and I can guarantee this won't be my last Munro. After having some food and enjoying the scenery at the top for a little while, we made our way down and headed back towards our cabin. When we returned, we made a nice dinner again on the grill, cracked open some whiskey, and hung out late into the night. The next morning we got up early, put on the coffee, and got ready to go. Our first stop was Kilchurn Castle. Unfortunately, most of the grounds are closed right now for refurbishment, but it was still an impressive place to visit nonetheless. We then made our way over to St. Conan's Kirk, a stunning church that's built right on the edge of the loch. We had the whole place to ourselves for a while, so slowly strolled around the grounds and just took it all in. It is truly one of the most beautiful buildings I think I've ever seen. We then headed towards the town of Oban and explored there for a while. It's a beautiful town by the sea, and it was nice just to walk around and take everything in. We then worked our way north towards Glasgow. The scenery up here was absolutely breathtaking. We explored this area for a little while and got out and hiked through the valleys of the Three Sisters. This valley showcases some of the most impressive glacial carved scenery I've ever seen in my life. We drove back to our cabin, enjoyed a beautiful sunset, sat by the fire, and got ready to drive down to Glasgow the next day. When we arrived at Glasgow, we had to change our plans a bit. Scotland was currently experiencing a heavy heat wave, and even though I grew up in Atlanta, it was still pretty hot. We set aside our plans of exploring outside of the city for a while, and instead opted to go inside the museums and other places that were air-conditioned. We were able to walk around the university and check out that part of the city, which was beautiful. At this point, it was late afternoon, so we had a few pints, and then I got on the train to go to a concert I've been looking forward to for a very long time. When I planned this trip, I thought it would be all about the scenery. And don't get me wrong, the Highlands are every bit as spectacular as people say they are. But all I remember most isn't just one mountain, one road, or one place. It's the contrast. Waking up in complete silence in the Highlands, then standing in a stadium with 58,000 people that same weekend. Exploring centuries of history one day, and watching one of the biggest rock bands in the world the next. Scotland is wild, peaceful, historic, and modern. Remote, and yet so full of life, all at the same time. I was only able to spend a few days up in Scotland, but I'm really looking forward to my next visit.